Hi there. I'd like you to stop what you're doing and pay close attention. Give yourself a moment to listen to what I'm going to share. It may change the way you make music. If you're like most of the music producers I've helped over the years, you're probably searching for answers that you just haven't found yet. Sure, you've likely done the YouTube thing or even bought a course or two, but you still find yourself with the same problems. Or perhaps you solved what you thought the problem was, only to realize that you are still struggling. Is this striking a chord with you yet? If so, you're in very good company. Have you ever wished you could just work on one song from start to finish without all the confusion, mental clutter, and insecurity? Wouldn't it be nice to finally be able to consistently make songs you're proud of? The kind that record labels start hunting you down for? How would it feel to play your songs out in a club full of enthusiastic clubbers? Look, I know this isn't your first time attempting to take your music production to the next level. You probably start off with loads of creative energy, only to find it drained within a few days, or sometimes during your first session. How many 16-bar loops are sitting on your hard drive in purgatory? Those songs you either have no idea how to finish, or to improve enough to regain interest in. They all still seem to have that something missing. We both know one great track can literally change your life and open many doors that are currently closed. As you watch this video to the end, you're going to discover why 95% of aspiring music producers struggle or fail, and how to get yourself into the top 5% elite who are rising to the top. You'll have the tools to sharpen your focus and put an end to procrastination for good. Hi, I'm Jason Timothy, music producer and DJ. I was once right where you are at now. In fact, I spent the better part of a decade finishing very little music, and even when I did finish something, I wasn't very satisfied. Things really came to a head for me in a club. I was face to face with superstar DJ Hernan Cataneo. He was holding his hands out, almost begging for new music from me. I tried to make excuses and assure him that he would get tracks from me soon. But the truth was, I had nothing. Zip, zero, zilch to share. This was a huge opportunity lost that I wouldn't get back, all because I couldn't get myself together and finish some tunes. Talk about shame and guilt. I was ruining whatever potential career I had. Okay, so I should back up a bit. You see, at that point, I wasn't starting from scratch. I actually had some success under my belt. In the early 2000s, I produced with a partner under the name Interstate. We'd spent a couple of years trying to produce some tracks, and surprisingly, they started getting big plays from the likes of John Digweed, Nick Warren, James Holden, and many others. Hernan happened to be our biggest supporter, mentioning us in magazines and interviews, saying our tunes were some of his biggest for a whole year. We were getting exposure and felt like we were on our way. Sadly, we became paralyzed by our own success. Since we hadn't produced very long, we were afraid our next batch of songs would be crap and we would be seen as hacks who just got lucky. We ended up, after several years of attempts to create something, splitting up our partnership. Now it was just me trying to produce on my own, and my confidence was already at a low. I'd simply lost my ability to finish anything, and it wasn't from a lack of desire and passion. I was suffering from a severe case of writer's block, and it was destroying my confidence. I knew something had to change. I tried all the things that most producers do in these situations. I bought new synths, plugins, and controllers. I watched countless hours of YouTube videos. It gave me a small boost of energy, which was a slight improvement, but it just started turning me into an unfocused, aimless follower of trends. I felt like I knew every trick in Ableton I'd ever need to know, and I still couldn't finish anything satisfying. Finally, after pulling back and changing my approach, I had a big breakthrough, and it wasn't the solution I would have expected. It was so counterintuitive to what I had been doing before that I don't think I would have even recognized the solution had I seen it before. The results were insane. I went from maybe 3 or 4 songs, mostly remixes, in a year, to a whopping 52 songs in just 13 months. What's more, I was actually starting to sign these songs to several record labels, and the momentum hasn't stopped since. I had managed to turn my whole life around as a music producer, and I was once again earning respect from my peers. Only this time, the music continued to come much more easily and consistently. See, I discovered that it wasn't completely my own fault that I wasn't getting the results I wanted. There are so many charlatans charging an arm and a leg for quick fixes or push-button solutions that just don't work. Although they may teach you a few techniques and give you a small boost of energy, these almost never fix the root of the problem. And soon you have another failure under your belt, making you feel even worse than before. Every time you try to motivate yourself, these past failures just follow you around. It's time to stop listening to the lies and understand that any craft requires consistent work and practice. If you think a new synth or plugin is going to solve your issues, you're fooling yourself. Stop giving in to people who A, don't have your best interest in mind, and B, aren't even finishing and releasing their own songs. Once I stopped listening to the clutter from the majority of teachers out there and started taking a new approach, everything changed fast. This is when I discovered something that would not just serve me, but also help others in a big way. It wouldn't be fair to keep this all to myself. Sharing my process has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. As promised, I will share some simple tips with you right now that will certainly improve your results. Number 1, stop buying new studio toys. If you aren't already finishing tracks, this is just another form of procrastination. So for now, save your money. Number 2, get out of the music forums. Everyone has an opinion and most of them are completely opposite from the other. You don't need to hear about which compressor everyone thinks is the best. These are things you will learn from your own experiences. For now, the plugins that come with Ableton are plenty good enough for professional sounding tracks. Number 3, instead of spending all your time devouring information, spend most of your time going as far as you can in your song and only search for information that is relevant now, then get back to work. Number 4, and this is a big one, it's better to work 30 minutes a day on music than it is to do a 12-hour session once every few weeks. Without the regular habit, you will not properly internalize everything that you're learning. Former member Tim O'Toole describes his experience of the producer's playground like this. I just wanted to say a massive thanks. I'm a budding music producer and related to all of the barriers, feelings, and issues you mentioned. I've now written and finished 5 songs. As I continued teaching my process, something unexpected started to happen. My students started telling me my training went beyond just musical boundaries. They were finding it easier to deal with life's daily stresses, and several have said their relationships and work had improved as well. Experiences like this are exactly why I created the Ableton Producers Playground. I wanted to create a fantastic community of like-minded people armed with every resource they need to destroy writer's block, 16-bar loop syndrome, and issues related to focus and lack of time. The information, courses, tools, templates, song files, and support I offer is the accumulation of 25 years of experience of what works consistently and what clearly doesn't. I share a no bullshit approach to get you where you want to be faster than you ever expected, as long as you're willing to commit to the process and let me guide you. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours to make this group as life-changing as possible. Music production gets so much easier when you follow a process that has been proven to work every time. The more you apply the techniques and take advantage of the tools inside, the better your results will continue to be. I went from songs that took me months upon months to finish to being able to finish 2 songs in a week. The workbooks I include alone have been changing lives by tuning the mind for more focused, organized, and creative thinking, so you can much more easily find your music making flow and cross the finish line on more songs than ever. The video courses teach you all the secrets in Ableton in a way that is immediately usable. It's pointless to learn something that you won't be putting to use right away. This will help you get unstuck when you hit a creative wall. The master template and producer kits put fantastic club-ready sounds at your fingertips so you can build your songs lightning fast. Dan Garrich says, I just watched the master template walkthrough, and I am simply amazed. You have really simplified the whole program. I've been using Ableton for several months now, wasting time creating or looking for sounds. This template is absolutely amazing. Can't thank you enough. Although I don't have time to explain everything that the Producers Playground offers in this video, I want to show you some of the things you'll experience once you join the group. First, you'll be taken to the Start Here section, which will help you clean the slate of misinformation and shiny object syndrome. You'll start asking yourself the right questions and getting deep with your personal beliefs and habits in regards to your music making. It's like a car wash for the mind, clearing the slate and preparing you to focus and learn quickly. You will get immediate access to the Ableton Essentials, giving you the fastest approach to getting yourself up to speed. This will back up your mental focus with the necessary technical skills to get you working immediately. This section alone is completely transformative. Plus, you'll get the added bonus of my personal support and the support of all the other members in our private group. Wherever you are, there's always someone who is there to help. You will have a team that you can count on anytime you run into roadblocks in your music making. There's no other course out there that combines the mental and the technical side of music making. And just so you know that I know what I'm talking about, this is my best-selling book on the subject on Amazon. I can assure you that you'll learn a lot. If you were to go with another Ableton training program, you can expect to pay anywhere from $500 for just the bare minimum in technical training, all the way up to beyond $4,000. Although they may have some good information, none of them address the underlying source of all your music making issues and problems, which is where the lasting results come from. 80% of the music making game is mental, and only about 20% is technical. So just think of how much these guys are leaving out of their training. If all this group did was double your musical output and increase your enjoyment of the process, wouldn't the playground be worth your time? Aren't you worth the investment? Well, let me tell you, doubling your musical output is the absolute least you can expect from the producer's playground. Because I know the struggles of most musicians and producers, I'm not going to charge you $4,000 for my course. Not even $500, even though it would be completely justified given what others are charging for much less value. All you will need to invest is $25 a month, which is less than an average meal, far less than your daily coffee at Starbucks. And to remove any hesitation on your part, I'm going to offer you a 7-day trial for just $1. You either absolutely love it and start noticing a massive difference right away, or you can cancel and still keep the downloadable tools I make available to you. Sound fair? Just imagine how far you can come in your first month. With all these resources available to you, I have absolute certainty that if you apply the steps and go through the process, you will see a massive shift fast. So click the Buy Now button and choose whether you would like to pay by credit card or PayPal. Once your payment is accepted, you'll have your login for immediate access to the playground. The sooner you get started, the sooner you can start finishing songs and reaching your music goals. Now is the time to make a decision. You either want to make an investment in yourself or you don't. Although I would love to have you on the inside, we will continue our pursuit of empowering music producers either way. In fact, if you don't think you are cut out for the challenge, you might not be a positive addition to our strong group, and I want to keep a stellar experience for everyone. By clicking the button below, you are committing to giving this some real effort and not letting little setbacks slow you down. Remember, you have all of the video courses, all of the workbooks, all the song files, templates, song loops, producer kits, and much more, not to mention the community dedicated to your success. Click the button below and let's get started.